Established in 1724 by Spanish soldier Bruno de Zabala, hosted every game of the 1930 World Cup, has a population of only 3.4 million people and has the lowest poverty rate in the whole of South America. Welcome to Montevideo and welcome to another Gaz Right video. We've just spent the last 5 days exploring here and I've put all the information together covering where to stay, best places to eat, drink, the best things to see, the best beaches, the best sunset spot, and of course the best place to get a few cervezas in the old bones. Any questions, bang them in the old comments. I respond to every single message. Whilst you're down there, hit that subscribe button. Still en route to 3k subs, and let's get straight into it. So the first thing you're probably thinking is it worth coming to? Absolutely. And where is the best place to stay? So you want to be staying near Playa de los Pocos. Again, I'll overlay all the names as we go because my pronunciation is going to be all over the place with these Spanish words. Ultimately, this area is a little bit out of the center. I'd say like a 15-minute taxi, but it's a lot where like the embassies are, a lot nicer buildings, a lot safer area. I think safety as a whole has been fine in Uruguay, but there's been a few areas which are a little bit more dicey to say the least. In terms of our apartment, it's an expensive place, so we're paying £70 per night for our Airbnb, which is top drawer. Probably one of the best places we stayed across our whole journey thus far. Loads of space, insane internet. We're talking at 350 megabytes per second download, insane upload. The YouTube videos are going straight into the ether and it's just top drawer. Super hot shower, super powerful, massive comfy bed, 2 pillows per person, which should be standard everywhere across the world. But like I say, it is a more expensive place. So if you are looking for budget travel, then Uruguay's probably not going to be one of the ones for you. But for me, it's been a little bit of a hidden gem, something that's really gone above and beyond what our expectations were. So that's where to say, what are the best things to do here? Plaza de Independencia is probably like the hub of the old time, designed in 1837 as a centre of importance for the entire company or country, one of the two. But yeah, it's a lovely little spot. It is a bit of like juxtaposition. One side, you have Palacio Salvo, which is a beautiful building. It looks like something from I was going to say Times Square. It looks like something from Central Park in New York or something off Mayfair in London. It is a gorgeous building that was built back in 1925 as the jewel of Montevideo. It was actually built as a luxury hotel, but they didn't have many guests, so they've kind of switched up their tactic. And they made it into a more residential block and place where there's like offices and stuff like that. There is a really iconic lighthouse on the top if you want a viewpoint in the city. When we went there, it was a pretty overcast and dull day, so we were like, doesn't really make sense to go up and see the viewpoint. But if you are on a clear day, I would definitely check that out. So on that square, you have lovely statues, you have lovely buildings on one side, and then there's some pretty dusty, rundown buildings on the other side. So yeah, you do have the mixture of the two there. I'd also go and check out Palacio Taranco, which again is in the heart of the old city, French style architecture, and it's just pretty top drawer, built by the same people that built the Arc de Triomphe in France. So yeah, lovely little spot. I think as you kind of go through, from the airport into the city centre of Montevideo, it very much reminds me of the British seaside, whether that's Blackpool, Southport, Formby, or down on the south coast in Brighton as well. And I mean that in a good way. All the buildings are different. And yeah, it's an absolutely gorgeous little spot. The more you go into like the heart of the old time, that's where I think it's more European looking and European influence, obviously during the colonial period. But yeah, pretty sensational to look at. One of the other top things, if not probably my favorite thing of everywhere we went, was Mercado del Puerto, and specifically Cabana Veronica for food. This is ultimately a food and drinks market. It was absolutely buzzing with atmosphere. The beers were flowing, the food was flying about. Absolutely top drawer. All the different places sell a very similar thing. I think Uruguay will be made or broken for you if you enjoy eating meat. If you do, you'll absolutely love it. Massive steaks, massive amounts of like chorizo, black pudding, huge pieces of chicken. It's a very meat-focused diet. I think that probably links into the amount of salt usage. We're getting told that salt is banned in the country because 40% of Uruguayans have hypertension or high blood pressure, which is pretty loose, with the average person having 9 grams of sugar per day, which You know what I mean? That is not ideal for the old long-term longevity of the rig. But back to the market itself, great spot for food, drinks. We sat up at the bar, which was good and bad. We were in the absolute thick of it, like orders getting thrown left, right, and centre. The beers are coming out. The wine is top drawer as well. So Em was probably paying about £3-4 for a glass of wine, and beers were fairly similar as well. I think it worked out like £6 for like a 600ml, because you have to buy them in like, so you can't really work out in a pint. Like you have to buy them in like litre bottles. That's another big positive. All the beers come in litre bottles. The best one is Patricia. No mention of the boy Evra, but yeah, the amount of steaks and meat they got through there was ridiculous. A few little souvenir shops in there. I was in the market for a Uruguayan football shirt with the main man. Not Suarez, not Valverde. Darwin Núñez. If you've seen that TikTok, that reel, you know the bloke, you know the GOAT. But they were just selling all like fake ones. So unfortunately didn't get my hands on one. But yeah, banging market, silly atmosphere, and can only speak highly of it. La Rambla, which is like basically like the coastline that runs all the way around the city centre. Lovely spot, 14 miles in total, 14 miles or kilometres. It's a long bloody way. Great for, I went out on a little run, loads of people cycling, loads of people just walking, taking it in, drinking a bit of the old mate. But yeah, it's a great little place just to check in the coast, have a little wander, have a little walk, and yeah, just get a feel for the city, the buildings, the atmosphere, the environment. So yeah, that was pretty good. Estadio Centenario, this is one that I thought was sensational, but I would only go there if you like football. So basically they hosted the first ever World Cup back in 1930 with Uruguay beating Brazil 2-1 in the final. They have a museum, you can go into the stadium. It is top drawer, but you have to like football. Like Em made a good call in not coming out on this day because she would have hated it. The stadium itself can host 60,000 people, and when Uruguay played, I guess the former Yugoslavia, they had 79,000 something people in there. So an extra third, it would have been absolutely rammed. It's all open air. Yeah, it's top drawer. They've got a mixture of like Copa America stuff, World Cup. They have the first ever World Cup trophy, which is about this big. Again, sensational, all the different boots they have, so much history and knowledge going through like all the Uruguayan teams, but they also have a signed football shirt from Pele and the Brazil team back then, insane. And they also have one not signed but from Maradona as well. So yeah, ridiculous little setup. There's only one memento for England, which obviously 1966 World Cup, of course, and they have quite a lot of stuff in there from the French team, because do you know what I mean, some of the players there, Henry, Zidane's, Thuram's, just absolutely ridiculous footballers. And I was saying it's funny as well, like you just go in somewhere like that, some of the stuff's like behind like plastic or glass or whatever, like the shirts, but a lot of the trophies are just out in front of you. The stadium, you just go in, it's not like stand here, stand there, loads of security. There's so much trust, I guess, within Uruguay, and I think that links back to how much of like a safe place it is. Yeah, I feel as if like everyone just has such trust for things, whether it's a queue, whether it's paying for things, whether it's just maintaining the environment, or just looking at trophies in the stadium. So yeah, top draw for me, but only go there if you enjoy a bit of football. So the best beaches, because this is what you're probably going to wonder. I'll be 100% honest, there are nice beaches here. If you're looking for like a beach holiday, this is not the place to come to. Very different to like a Copacabana in Brazil where we just were. Because obviously it's classed more of a river as you come out like past Buenos Aires, and then obviously Uruguay way, it's semi-river where like the river is meeting the ocean. So the water itself isn't the nicest. We got the drone up, we got the bird up, and do you know what I mean? We're not seeing the crystal clear, crispy JPEGs or MP4 files going into the retinas, as we often say. It's still really nice. The beaches themselves, so you've got Playa Ramirez, which for me, I would personally say is the nicest beach in terms of like the actual sand and the water in front of it. The beach outside where we're staying that I mentioned before is Los Pocitos Beach, which is pretty mad. We went there today and it looks really, really nice, like the sand, people sat out and stuff. All along the shoreline, there's just like hundreds of dead fish, which is pretty niche. I need to look into the reasoning behind that. Again, a lovely spot, but if we're comparing it to the Philippines, Australia, Copacabana, it's not quite on the same level, but when you have like a really nice city, very vibrant, super safe, and then you have a nice beach, I think it only adds and elevates, I guess, to it as well. And also maybe check out Playa Malvin Beach. So for me, they're the best beaches. If you're only going to do one, Playa Ramirez is the best by an absolute country mile. This backs on to Parque Rodo, which I would also say is probably one of the highlights of Montevideo. It's a great little park that has like a little, I'm not going to say farmers market because that's a little bit harsh too. The farmers in the UK who do a stellar job at the farmers markets. They have a little food markets. It's like fresh produce, and it said like clothes and that sort of souvenir stuff. It's pretty much like a car boot sale on a Sunday. So there's a few hidden gems in there, but some pretty niche kit. But aside from the little market, you've got a gorgeous little park, loads of little water features, palm trees knocking about left, right and centre, some great JPEGs. However, at the front of the park, looking onto the sea, Playa Ramirez Beach, you have one of the best sunsets spots we've seen in the whole of our travels. For me, there's so many good sunsets, but I always say, they're a 9.5 out of 10 because they don't set into the sea. There's something about when the sun sets into the sea, it just elevates it a little bit more. And yeah, we weren't really expecting it. We're just chilling, wasn't sure what to do with the day after being in the park, had a little coffee. So you know what, let's get a few beers, let's get a little bit of vino blanco, actually vino rosa this time in the old system and see where the day takes us. And we just sat there and we're like, oh wait, the sun's dropping out the sky, it's so vibrant red. And then we're just saying to some locals, we're like, does the sun actually set into the sea? And they gave us the good words. Yes, it does set into the sea, and it was absolutely banging. So great spot for some drinks, a little picnic, a chill. And obviously you combine that with, the sunset. Chef's kiss from me. Speaking of Chef's Kiss, the best bakery, Saint-Germain, which, is it German, is it French? All I know is absolutely banging. Bake all their own, like bread, bake all their own baked goods. The pain au raisin is a fan favourite from myself, absolutely top drawer, nice coffee, good staff, nice atmosphere. Went back there twice. For me, top drawer pastries, would highly recommend. There's a grill house near where we're staying, which is called La Horta. Again, I got a massive piece of chicken. Like the guy was like, do you want the breast or the leg? And I was like, well, I'll go for the breast then, I guess. And then they brought out this like massive portion of chicken, fresh lemon. Went for the black pudding, the chorizo sausage, again, just different gravy, and had a little sweet potato with a bit of butter in there. And yeah, we got that on the first day. Top drawer. As I said before, the place you want to go to in the market is Cabana Veronica, which when you go in the market and you see it, there's loads of places. They all serve like very similar food. It's a big open wood fried kind of oven thing where they're just whacking steaks, different meats on. But this place had the best atmosphere, the biggest, it was the only place that had a queue, and there's a reason why. Crazy atmosphere, good food, and they were all super, super nice and friendly in there, I guess, as well. If you're looking for a little vino tour, a little wine tour, we didn't go here, but the best reviewed one is the Bowser Winery and Vineyard. I think it's about £75 to do a tour there. We went to a little place in the city centre, nice little wine bar, Vitti, not to be confused with Bitty, of course, very different liquids going in the system there. But yeah, you're looking at like £4.50 for a really nice glass of wine. Loads of Uruguayan stuff all across South America, Argentina, Chile and stuff like that as well. So yeah, the wine was very, very good. Indica Beer Company for you cerveza lovers out there. They brew all their beers in the shop next to where the bar is. Goes without saying, fan favourite, the hazy IPA and the porter. Just rinse and repeat on those. Top drawer. Couple little travel tips. As I kind of mentioned, right, this is not a cheap place. Like £35 per night accommodation. Well, I guess each, or 70. The only places which have been more expensive on this trip so far, and we've done 30 different countries, are Seoul, South Korea, Japan, Australia and Singapore. So it's definitely up there in terms of the cost. That links into why there's such a low poverty rate, and that's why it's such a, well, I guess it's not a direct comparison, but do you know what I mean? When things cost more, generally then the area is nicer because there's more money going to. The waiters, they can spend it on this. It's just top drawer, but it's definitely not a budget-friendly one. One thing along with the food is banging. You get crazy bites of meat, but because of how it's cooked on these open coals and open ovens, you go home stinking of smoke every single time. So there's one negative about the food. It just absolutely ruins all your clothes. come in English winter, because obviously that's South American summer. The sun's coming out at like 5:30 in the morning, doesn't set till like 8:30 at night, so you get such a long day in comparison when we've been in Mexico and stuff like that, where the day's finished at 5 o'clock here. The sun literally set like 8:15 last night, still light a lot later as well. So you can maximize, I guess, your time. Another key tip, it took me a few days to work this out, but make sure you pay with MasterCard. If you pay with MasterCard, it automatically takes off the 22% tax on everything you pay for. Yeah, which is obviously unreal because we love a little saving on that front. Overall, great vibes, really enjoyed it. Very similar to like the British seaside towns, in a good way. Do you know what I mean? 30-degree heat. It's very different to like a Brazil, a Rio, a Mexico. That we had a good time. Is it like a super buzzing, vibrant party type place? Absolutely not. Is it worth visiting? I would say so. We've really enjoyed it. The food's banging, super polite, super friendly. So yeah, I'm going to put it middle of the pack, but definitely gets the old seal of approval. Just know what you're getting yourself into before coming here. If you're coming on like a lads or girls holiday, or you're looking to go out drinking all the time, it's definitely not that vibe. Few beers in the park as the sun's setting. That is the best you're going to get, and it was pretty sensational. So yeah, Paraguay is up next. Head there tomorrow, and then the final leg of the old journey in Argentina. Any questions about, do you know what I mean, our time in Uruguay, the things we didn't do, anything you want to know, bang it in the old comments. I respond to every single message. And if you want like a more vlog style content of all the things I've discussed, I've done a video on every single day that we've been here, which by the time you're watching this, they will already all be live on the old channel. Hit the subscribe button, still en route to 3K subs. I'll see you in Paraguay, baby. Remember the chef is always cooking. Let's get it.